I had a nightmare relationship with an older man during college, and it ended when he dropped me like a hot potato when I got cancer. Now I found out I was his affair partner the entire time, and I might see him soon at a work function. Posted by you/Captain Gazpacho. When I, 29F, was 21, I dated a guy who was too old for me. Kevin, 45M, was 37 at the time and an older student in my university program. I'd just gotten out of a bad relationship and thought Kevin was great. Of course, there were red flags everywhere, but I was so naive back then that I didn't question any of it. Kevin and I dated for 6 months. He quickly told me he loved me and asked me, pretty aggressively, to move to his home city after graduation. Great, right? Still ignoring the red flags. In my last semester, I was diagnosed with cancer, and my world fell apart. The day I got my diagnosis, Kevin made out with another woman at a party in front of me. I left in tears. That night, he broke up with me via email, saying we weren't a good fit anymore because of my impending medical emergency. He admitted he was only with me out of pity after my previous abusive relationship and added that all our friends thought I was annoying and no one liked me. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. My memories of that week are a blur. I had to drop out of the semester and take a medical leave of absence. In the meantime, Kevin followed me around campus, demanding to know why I wouldn't talk to him and insisting that I forgive him. I remember looking at him like he was insane. I asked him, "So, are you apologizing for what you did?" And he said, "Of course not, I didn't do anything wrong. It's not fair that you're angry at me like this." I told him to go to hell and focused on getting my paperwork squared away and moving back home for chemo. That period of my life was a nightmare, and I don't like thinking about it. I became suicidal and was diagnosed with depression, so I started seeing a psychiatrist while undergoing chemo. I lost most of my friends, as they didn't know how to deal with my illness. However, a few stuck by me, and they're still my friends today. Some of them are even my colleagues now. In the months after I left school, Kevin badgered me over text, saying he didn't know what happened between us and demanding that I forgive him. In the middle of chemo, I told him I forgave him just to get him to leave me alone. As soon as I forgave him, he vanished, and I never heard from him again. I blocked him on Facebook to ensure he couldn't come back into my life. Later that year, between chemo treatments, I met a strange woman at a university event off campus. I'd never seen her before and had no idea who she was. During dinner with a group of students and alumni, she talked about her fiancé. Can you guess who it was? Kevin, of course. I was confused because we'd only dated for a few months, which seemed too short to know someone before getting engaged. But when I asked how long they'd been together, she said something crazy like 3 years. I was in total shock, realizing Kevin had been having an affair with me and that our entire relationship was a lie. I left in a daze and cried in the parking lot. In hindsight, I should have warned her, but at the time, I was in shock, sick, and not interested in starting drama at a table full of strangers. I was also exhausted. Later, I thought about finding her on Facebook, but I didn't know her name and worried that saying something would invite more harassment from Kevin, so I let it go. The good news is that I'm still here and happily in remission. 2 years after leaving school, I finally felt human again and went back to finish my degree. By then, I was doing really well. I made new friends, completed therapy, and started my career. Life is totally different now. I'm well known in my field and have even been invited back to my university as a guest of honor. My professors want me to speak to students, and I'll have a chance to network with visiting alumni who are big names in my industry. It's an amazing opportunity, and I was really looking forward to it. The only problem is that Kevin is on the guest list, along with a woman who shares his last name, presumably his wife. When I saw their names, my heart sank. The guest list is small, with maybe 50 alumni, so we're bound to run into each other. I can't skip the event because it's important, and I already promised I'd be there. Plus, I don't want to avoid things out of fear of running into someone like him. How do I handle seeing Kevin again? Should I treat him like a stranger? What if he tries to hug me like we're old friends? That's something he would do. I also have no idea if I should say anything to his wife. I don't want to reopen this can of worms from my past. I'm losing sleep over this and don't know what to do. Commenter. You don't give him any attention, and you certainly don't approach the girlfriend, even though you'd like to share a few things. Ops response. The idea of approaching his wife gives me hives. The last thing I want to do is open this Pandora's box. I feel bad for her, though. Update 6 months later. Well, thanks for your feedback, everyone. I wanted to give you an update. Something I failed to mention in my last post is that my mom used to teach at my alma mater before she recently retired. She didn't know about my brief relationship with Kevin years ago. After writing my post, I decided to share everything that happened with her. Mom immediately got this weird look on her face and said she knew exactly who I was talking about because he used to teach in my department. She said, "I don't think Kevin will be a problem for you." When I asked why, she said, "Trust me, you'll see. That guy is kind of a loser." So I went to the event, and it was amazing. I took some of the advice here and brought a girlfriend so I wouldn't be alone in case Kevin tried to pull something. I met a bunch of alumni and ran into a couple of people I had lost touch with when I got sick. Everybody was thrilled to hear how well I'm doing, and my speech got an ovation when I was done. Anyway, Kevin showed up with his wife. I don't know how to say this without sounding mean, but he's gotten fat and is going bald. I was surprised at how old he looked until someone told me he's almost 50 now, which means he lied to me when we were dating and said he was younger than he really was. Also, I heard from old classmates that Kevin is still studying for his degree and working nights as a security guard now. Kevin was the only person at the event who avoided me. Like, it was obvious. I thought he was going to avoid me all night until I accidentally found myself alone for 30 seconds, which is when he nervously approached me to congratulate me. I smiled, said thanks, and kept moving. He tried cracking a dumb joke to me later, but I just ignored him, which seemed to frustrate him. Overall, I just spent the night focused on the people around me and forgot he existed. Interestingly, he managed to repeatedly piss off a bunch of people, including his wife and one of the deans, throughout the night with stupid comments. It got so bad that people started a running joke about what an insensitive moron Kevin was. I'm so glad I went and didn't allow one jerk from my past to make me hide. I had a great time and was surprised at how unafraid I felt when I saw Kevin again. The memories from that time of my life were so traumatic, but now he's just some jerk I once knew. I'm not sure now WTF I ever saw in him or why I was ever scared of him. Oh, and by the way, I recently started a great new job that came with a big raise, which means I'll have my student loans paid off this year, so life is good. Thanks for your help, Reddit. Edit. Wow, the comments got locked fast. 2 things I wanted to add. 1. An acquaintance recently told me that Kevin and his now wife were apparently in an open relationship for a long time, including while he and I were together, and that she closed the relationship a few years ago because she got annoyed. I can only imagine the shenanigans. I feel better knowing he didn't cheat on her, even though he still cheated on me, and, of course, he didn't tell me about his wife at all. Whatever, though. 2. My favorite part of the evening, I blocked Kevin on Facebook years ago, so he's had no updates on my life, including the fact that I go by my birth name now. In college, everybody called me by a nickname, but no one's used it in years. So all night, he kept calling me by this super old nickname. People kept looking at him like he was crazy and asking, "Why are you calling her that?" Kevin got super frustrated because he realized everybody was in on some joke he didn't understand. No one would clue him in, I guess. Commenter. Oh, this update gives me life. I'm so happy to hear about your success, congratulations and well done. I'm so glad you are finally able to move on from this idiot. You are clearly 2 very different people. Ops response. It's so obvious now that the only reason we were ever together was that I was young and naive. Now that I'm almost 30, he doesn't make any sense to me. It's so weird and creepy.